All righty. Here we go.
Well, greetings,
Here we go. Here
everyone.
we
Good
go.
afternoon. Good morning. We are back for another Pemberton Legacy interview. I have a phenomenal person with me today. Why is this phenomenal person shaking her head? She knows she's phenomenal. So, phenomenal person, since we introduced you that way, please give us your name and your parents' name.
Okay, this phenomenal person name is Barbara Alfreda Washington Sayles.
Okay.
My parents were Luther Washington and Delphia Washington.
Can you move your camera down just a little bit? Because I'm not
Oops.
seeing your face. There we
Can
go.
you see me now?
I got you.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. Now tell me about
Okay. What else
tell me
you
about
need?
your
You need my
parents.
parents?
Yeah, tell me about your parents and your
Oh,
family history. Growing up, how was it?
well, okay. It was fun.
What made it fun?
No, I'm just kidding. No,
I
but
know
my
it was
parents,
fun though.
okay, my dad was Luther Washington. His Luther Frizzell Washington, as a matter of fact. And
Mhm.
his parents were Omega and Mabel Washington. And let's see, it was 5 or 6 of them. I think it was 3 boys and 2 girls. And then my mom was Delphia Alma Pemberton Washington. And I forget what number she was in the group, but I think it was 8 boys
Mhm.
and 6 girls, something like that. And 1 girl went on. But my mom was the youngest girl. And she was next to the youngest in the family.
Oh, I didn't realize that. That she was you always see them all together and you just thinking
Right,
the siblings. You don't think about how old they are.
right. Yeah, she was next to the youngest. She was the youngest girl. And then William was the youngest boy.
Mm-hmm.
He was the youngest of all
Gotcha.
of them.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have siblings?
Yes, I have a sister, Hilda Washington, and I had a brother, Luther Frizzell Washington Jr.
Mm-hmm.
He went on to glory in 2013.
Right. What
Mm-hmm.
was it like growing up with your siblings? Did y'all do a lot of stuff together? What was the age range between you? What
Oh,
was
let's
the
see. I was the
experience?
oldest. Hilda is 18 months. I think we're 18 months apart.
Mm-hmm.
And then Frizzell came down the line there somewhere. He was the youngest.
He
He
was
was
the
the baby and he
baby.
was spoiled rotten.
Was he really
Yeah.
spoiled?
Oh yeah, mama spoiled him big time.
Oh,
He
okay.
was
I
really,
didn't.
really spoiled. Really spoiled. Oh yes. The sun rose and set on Fred.
Oh, what's an example of that, of him being spoiled? Because this
Oh
is
well,
my first time.
he did no wrong. Oh, he did no
Oh,
wrong. No wrong.
okay.
Anything he did was okay. That's all right. But he used to he would torture us, but that was okay. That was all right because he did it.
Mm.
Yeah,
I
but
know how
it was
that
good.
goes. I got one of them too, little brother. I know that's how it was growing up. I'm telling you, he would do all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff, and we'd be like, "Wait a
Mm-hmm.
minute, we didn't do it. It was him. It was him,
Yeah,
the little boy."
exactly. He would get away with everything. She let him do anything. Daddy
Mm.
didn't, but she did. Mama did.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I see. Now, where did you we're speaking about your siblings and your parents and all that. Where did you grow up?
In New Kent.
In New Kent,
in
how
Tunstall.
was in Tunstall? Okay. Where,
Hmm.
how does, because
Yeah.
I hear people talk about Tunstall, how does Tunstall differ from the rest of New Kent County? How would you say, is there a certain character, family, memories you have about Tunstall?
Well, the only thing about Tunstall, you got Tunstall, you got Providence Ford, you got Quinton, you
Mhm.
got Lenexa, they're different post office. But Tunstall, there's a lot of history behind Tunstall. I can't go into all of it because it's a lot, but
Right.
um that's just where we were. How we got here, I have not a clue.
It's okay.
But I just knew we grew up in Tunstall.
Gotcha,
I
gotcha.
remember that. Hmm.
Do you have any specific memories about growing up in Tunstall, like school days or what it was like with your classmates or any of that?
Well, I went to a one room school with
Mm-hmm.
Tunstall. It is a community center now, but I did go to Tunstall elementary school, I guess it was. No, Tunstall School. I don't think it had a label because they were all grades there.
Oh,
Hmm. So I think it was maybe five of us in first grade, and I don't remember the rest. But we all the grades were in the same building. It was a one room school. I remember
hmm.
that. That was fun.
What made it fun? What made the one room school fun?
Well, you were with all of your family pretty much, and everybody
Oh,
you knew everybody in the class. And with us being first graders, we didn't have to do any hard work. We didn't have to make the fire or bring in the
right.
wood. All we had to do was show up.
So did the other grades have to do that with it being a one room school? Were they required to make a fire and all of that?
Well,
The
with the
older,
teacher, but they had to make sure the wood was there, and and she would cook and stuff on the stove.
hmm.
It was fun. I had fun in school from grade 1 all the way through 12.
You must have been partying. You must have been the fun person at the school. I have seen some pictures now. Weren't you a cheerleader? Weren't
Yes,
you? See, I knew that
yes.
you was what, why did you become a cheerleader?
I liked it. I was the
Yeah.
captain of the cheer squad the whole time, from
Hmm.
ninth grade to 12th grade.
Okay.
And I played
What's
in the band,
what did you play in the band?
saxophone.
Oh, okay. Let me find out. You got a little jazz number there. You can play on your saxophone.
No.
You said no. Well, what kind of music did y'all play? What?
Band. We weren't in no jazz band or nothing like that. It was
Gotcha.
just general, just high school band music.
Gotcha. So like, yeah, just
Mhm.
classical type, nothing.
Pretty much,
Yeah,
yeah. Nothing
gotcha.
jazzy. We didn't have a jazz band and all that kind of stuff.
Mm,
Not in our school.
right. Maybe some of the other
Hmm.
schools, but not your you
Hmm.
said not at your
Right.
school. Not at your
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
that's
Nope.
cool.
But growing up in Tunstall was fun. I grew up on the farm, of course. You know that because we grew up at my grandmother's.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we had a house fire and we ended up going back to my grandmother's and staying there. But that was in the 60s.
Right.
But in the 50s, we were there at Grandma Laura.
Right.
Did I
Right.
mention her name?
Yes, you mentioned all the people name you want to, because this is
I
the
did, but
history.
I'm
No,
asking you,
you
did I?
didn't. You'd never mentioned her name before.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
so Laura and Samuel were my grandparents. I
Mm-hmm.
mentioned my dad's grandparents.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So Laura and Samuel Pemberton were my grandparents. I did not know my grandfather, but we used to live with my grandmother.
Okay.
That was fun because we live right next door to your grandmother.
Yeah, I bet y'all was just having a good old time playing. This is what I've heard from Uncle John, that when you came along, they just thought you was a little doll baby. They was like, "Ooh, it's a girl. We don't know what to do with her." Is that true? Do you
That's
know?
what they tell me now. I don't know.
I know.
I know they said they used to hide me whenever Daddy came to pick me up. They would hide me so he couldn't get me.
So you were staying at their house, or is what you're
Mm-mm,
saying?
mm-mm, mm-mm. All right, we live next door with Grandma,
Right.
but your grandma used to keep me while Mom and Daddy went to work.
Ah, gotcha. 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 Okay.
Yeah, so whenever Daddy came to pick me up, they would hide me.
Thought they was gonna keep you.
Yeah, they were gonna keep me. They weren't gonna let him take me home.
Oh Lord. They said we got to keep this little girl. We can't let her go
Yeah, they hadn't seen
nowhere.
no girl. They hadn't seen no girl.
That is
Hmm.
amazing. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it was great. It was great. The part I don't remember that, of course,
Yeah.
but the part I do remember was really great. Your grandmother could really cook. My mom
Ah,
couldn't.
your grandma couldn't cook?
My mother couldn't. Grandma could.
Oh, okay. Now I'm seeing the comparison. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But so when you went over there, you was like, ooh, we having some different food.
Yeah, hot rolls, hot biscuits.
Yeah. I've heard a
And
lot
I
about
don't.
these biscuits. Like, Kathy talked about these biscuits too. Because she
Mm-hmm,
said when she would come down, she would they would come down from New Jersey, and one of the things she just
mm-hmm.
remember, she was like, we didn't have food like that, my hot rolls, hot biscuits. He's like, your grandmother did this and did. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, okay.
Oh yeah, she cooked now. She could cook.
Do you
Yes,
have a
indeed.
favorite? Do you remember any of the other food she cooked besides like the hot rolls, biscuits, and did she cook anything else?
Everything.
Everything.
Everything. Oh, she cooked
It's
everything.
everything.
Everything. Anything she cooked was good. Anything that went on that stove came back good.
Hmm.
Now, my
Amazing.
grandmother, Laura, she could make lemon meringue pie that was out of this world.
Hmm.
And she would get mad with me because I would eat all the meringue off the top. Yeah. So she was a little upset with me. That gal, that gal.
That's what she said. Oh my goodness.
But I eat all the meringue off the top. It was good.
Yeah, you enjoyed it, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what you wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want this. I want to eat
Yep.
pie. This is how
Mm-hmm.
I eat
Exactly.
pie.
I love lemon meringue pie to this day. Anna made good ones too. Well, Aunt
Mm.
Pauline, all of them could cook. Everybody could cook except my mama.
She
You
didn't
know how
have
you
to.
have
She
these.
was the baby. Think about it. She was the baby girl. No, now that I'm seeing the succession, she didn't have to. She had all these other siblings who could cook for her. She like ain't
Mm-hmm.
really. She's
Mm-hmm.
had other areas of expertise. Like, tell me, I know some of the things that your mom excelled at. What would you say she excelled at?
You tell me, then I'll
I
say,
know
okay.
she's an excellent hairstylist,
Oh
seamstress.
yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about food.
Well, just in general, what did she, I was just talking in general.
Well, in general, yeah, you couldn't beat, the cosmetology. She taught that, and she was very good at that. Seamstress sewing, ooh, immaculate, to the T. Made all of our clothes and my brother's. So she would make our clothes, her outfits. She always made her outfits. Excellent, excellent. But I laugh because I always hear people say, "Child, my mama used to make the best."
And you say what?
Try.
You got me laughing.
I can't say. We survived now.
Right. And
Like,
yes, you did.
But you know how some things stand out, like your grandma's biscuits and cakes and pies and food, period.
Yes. Yes. You can't think of
I
one
don't know.
thing.
I
You're
can't
like, I
put
don't know. Because I'm telling you what it was. She had
Hilda mic and think of something.
okay. That is hilarious. Well, it sounds like you had a wonderful upbringing. What did you do as you got older? What did you do for work? Like what area?
I was always in the office. I always was administration. Always worked in the office building. I started off in 69 working for the state. Well, I graduated in 69 and went right to work. And I worked in the state health department for Virginia. And it was always clerical, administrative type work all the way my whole career. Office
What got you into that area? Like you started out at the health department. Was there anything?
Well, yeah. No, not necessarily wanted to go into the health field. No, it was a job.
Right. I understand. You're like, it's somewhere to work.
Yeah, it was a job. And I didn't go to school. I was going to go to Norfolk. I was accepted at Norfolk State. But during that time, they ran out of dormitories.
Yeah.
And they were placing the students out in the city at people's homes. And we didn't want to do that. But that was back in the 60s.
Yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
know.
So, but anyway, since I didn't go to school, then I went to, started working and just went on from there. Always in the clerical field, always in the office. I like typing, of course there were no computers, but I like typing. So I kind of stuck to that area.
Gotcha. What made working in the office interesting for you, or something? Because I'm sure with some of your positions, you've had to lead other people or show them the ropes. What did you enjoy about that?
Oh, it was so. I just like organized, having your papers and stuff. Is always a lot of paperwork, keeping your files and stuff in order, that type stuff. Just the office environment. I just like being in an office.
But everybody can't do the
manual
office.
labor.
You said no manual labor.
That was brain labor.
Oh, yes. And you know what? Isn't brain labor sometimes more taxing than manual using your hands?
Yes. I tried to tell that to my husband because he would say, "Oh, well, you just sit behind a desk all day." But then with him being in the military and then he had to do it, he saw the difference. Because I wasn't up physically doing anything. Yeah, that behind the desk is rough. But it was good. I enjoyed it all the way to the last.
Yeah, where was the what was the last company you worked at where you retired from?
Well, the company I retired from was called Crown Cork and Seal.
Mm-hmm.
But when I left the State Department, I went to uh, Freeman Marks. I forgot all about them. Freeman Marks Clothing, men's clothing company.
Hmm.
But I was also a clerk there. I worked in the office there. I didn't work out in the plant. And when they closed down, I went to Ethel Corporation.
Okay.
And it was still kind of under Ethel Corporation's umbrella that Crown got bought. Because Ethel went to Tredegar, and then Tredegar sold out to Crown. But I started out at Ethel Corporation. Yep, that was interesting.
What made it interesting?
Well, it was I worked for the assistant secretary of the corporation, and I did all the minutes to the annual meeting and stuff like that.
Mm.
Yeah, it was interesting.
So
And I worked in the same
essentially,
building with the owners. I
oh,
worked in the same building with the owners, the CEOs, the lawyers, and all that. So it was an interesting job. I enjoyed it. I had fun.
you have
It
fun with
had to be
everything. That
fun.
seems to be a theme. You just
Yes,
make everything
it
fun.
had to be fun.
What
Hmm.
what would you tell somebody who wants to um get into administrative work or to have a long career in like administrative, clerical, office management, that type of area? What did you learn that would make them successful and go the long haul for like 20 and 30 years? Because some people quit. How did you stay in it for that many years doing the same type of work?
Well, even though you're in the office, you do a little bit of everything. So you got to have some variety.
Mm,
But again, like you were saying about, one of our other family members, you have to be able to get along with people. And when you're in an office with other folk, you still have to be able to get along. And that helps. You have to do that. My daddy always said that you don't deal with color. He never dealt with color. He always dealt with people.
mm,
So you just got to learn to deal with people, and anything else just got to go by the wayside.
gotcha.
So,
Gotcha.
and that's pretty much how it was. And you
Hmm.
dealt with all kind. In the office, you see a little bit of everything. So that's the best
Yeah.
thing. You just got to be able to get along with people. You know your skill, know what you're doing. They can't take that from you.
That's right. Yeah, because if you're proficient at it, they can't just say, "Oh, Miss Barbara, you can't do that," or you're like, "No, I'm excelling in this area. What are you talking about?"
Hmm. Exactly.
They can't take
Exactly.
your skill. They can't.
Exactly.
Mm-mm. What
But that's about it.
and that's about it, huh?
I mean, as far as, if you want to go into administration, you just got to know what you're doing and be able to take the lead and guide and, be able to get your point across and keep things organized pretty much.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So it's all
Have wear a
about
whole lot of hats. Wear a
a
whole
whole
lot of
lot of what?
hats. Hats. In
Oh,
the office,
yeah.
you're juggling a lot. You're always juggling a lot of stuff.
How do you manage all of that? How do you manage juggling all of those things, people, events, projects? How do you do it?
Appointments.
Yeah.
Yeah, scheduling people and scheduling appointments and making reservations. I've done it the whole gamut. You just gotta be organized and know what you're doing. I don't know how
Yeah,
else to put it.
yeah. You like, I don't know. See, you can't explain it because it comes so natural to you. But for other people, you've seen
Mm-hmm.
some disorganized folks, right? Because they don't
Oh
know.
yeah.
You tell them, oh, all you got to do is be organized. They sitting there looking at you like, I don't even know what to organize. I don't know what to put.
Yeah. Like,
I
what you
don't know what
mean
to do
organized?
first.
And some people don't know. They truly, honestly don't have a clue on how things should be set up in an office. They don't have an idea. So,
Hmm.
but they need, if they want to go into it, man, they really need to look it up. What they say, Google it.
Yes, Google it. Google it. No, they need to ask you
That's what they.
because you're the expert.
Yeah,
Serious.
I can show you better than I can tell you.
And that's why you take them under your wing. You'll be their mentor
Mhm.
and they'll learn from the best. Speaking of that,
Mhm.
what has been a valuable lesson you've learned throughout your life? Because I know you mentioned one thing that your father taught you, and of course, things you learned from your mother. What has been a valuable lesson or lessons?
Mm. Yeah, there's so many lessons. I think you learn a different lesson at each decade. You there, oh well,
Hmm.
you learn that, and then you, oh well, you learn that. But every lesson that you learn, you're gonna either pay something financially or you're gonna pay something physically, and
Ooh.
that's a lesson learned. So if something comes up and you're, well, I learned that lesson, but you either pay for it financially or you pay for it physically. And my daddy would always say, for every lesson, you got to buy your books. So your books would be whatever your financial thing was or what your physical thing was.
Hmm.
You learn your lessons. Say, for instance, when I go out this door, I'm gonna stomp my big toe. Well, you're gonna learn a lesson not to go out that door the same way. So your lesson was, don't go that way. So you got to buy your books. Daddy would call that buying your books.
I like it. I wonder, I've always wondered where they get these cliches. It's like buying your books. I heard the other one is look under every rock. Have you heard that one?
No, I haven't heard that one.
But I've heard, I actually, Kathy was talking about that. She said something, her dad would say, look under it. And what that means is if you're going after a venture, or let's say you want to paint your house or you want to buy a new house, it's saying look under
Mm-hmm.
every possibility. Don't ignore one thing, thinking, oh, I'm not going to find a
Mm-hmm.
house over there, so let me not go over there. It's just look
Right.
under, just like buying your books don't necessarily literally mean but you know what it
Buy
means.
your books, but you gonna pay for that lesson learned.
Yeah.
So he would always say you got to pay for your books. You learn some
Mm.
terrible lessons.
I know. I like what you said because you're gonna end up paying something either financially or physically with your body. You're gonna stump that toe.
Yeah.
You gonna
Mm-hmm.
something gonna
And
happen.
you'll be like, I ain't gonna keep going out that door. I done bit the. So that's what you paid. Your lesson, you paid for that by stumping your toe 4 times. And one time is all you should have stumped it.
True. True, but you want to keep going out the
Mm-hmm.
door doing the same thing over and
Mm-hmm.
again, and it's not
You,
right.
you know, a lesson I learned, and I had to pay for that. I bought a car at an auction.
Hmm.
And that, oh, you buy this car at this auction, you pay for it, boom, you got a car. You don't have no house note, you don't have anything else to pay. You got, I mean, no house note, no car note. You don't
Right.
have no car note. You bought this thing at this auction, paid for it cash, boom, I got a car. I bought that car. I put 3 motors in that car, 4 sets of tires. and it still ended up catching on fire when I was driving. Now, that was a lesson learned, wasn't it? I will never buy another car from an auction.
No,
And the car was yellow. So I said, I'll never buy another yellow car, and never one from an auction. Because the lemon, I bought a straight up lemon.
You
and
did, and it was the color of a lemon. They talking about, you like, I bought me one, a real lemon.
Bought me cute little car, just as cute as they want to be. Yellow car, kind of compact, real cute. I tell you, I spent more money on that car. They said, well, you had to pay for your books.
Yes, ma'am. I've had lessons like that myself, so I know what you're talking about. I know it.
Mm-hmm. I had to pay for my books. I paid for my books and over on that one.
And see, with that lesson, you can turn around and teach somebody else what not to do or to do if they are going to buy a vehicle at an auction. You know?
Exactly.
So,
exactly. Wow. It was messed up.
This is like, wow.
Carried a mechanic with me and everything. They ain't do no good.
Oh, you had the mechanic there at the auction?
Yeah.
So what did the mechanic say?
It was a lemon. It was a lemon.
I see now.
Yeah, it was a lemon.
Oh.
And it was a yellow car.
Oh my goodness.
I learned my lesson there, boy.
What would you say? What you say?
I said that's among many lessons.
Oh yeah, that just happens to be one of them.
Yeah.
Happens to be one of the lessons. What would you say? You know, we've talked about, you know, the Pemberton history and your mom and grandma and your dad and all of these people. What would you say is something you've seen common in the Pemberton family that's a trait or something we do well, or what, have you noticed anything? Or something that's been passed down?
How we come together, I guess. How we can come together. You know, we might go around the tree 3-4 times on one thing, but eventually we come together.
I like that because it's true. It's true. You might have one saying this or one cousin doing this and saying, I want it this way. Then eventually it just, everybody comes.
Yeah, it all comes together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's about, I mean, you know, it's probably some other things, but I can't think of it right now.
That's okay. That's okay. What, because you just made me think about something too. What role have you played in the family reunions that we've hosted so far, like for the past 20 years? No, I'm being serious. What has been your role?
Oh my God, you name it.
This is what I want to know. We need to know this.
Name it. Just name anything.
Have you helped with the food?
Yes.
Have you helped organize the tents or something? You know, I'm naming off. Have you been on the planning committee?
Oh God, every year I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think every reunion, you know, I've had a hand doing something. You know, somewhere down the line.
Right.
I'm still waiting for the one when I can just sit back and just show up.
Well, Barbara, we know how you are. You are the organizer extraordinaire and Miss Fun. So you got to be in the mix of everything. I'm being serious. You got to be in the mix.
I don't have to be.
But somehow you just end up in the mix. You know what you forgot to mention, because I need to have this
I just,
documented. Oh, go ahead.
oh
Say what you're
Lord,
going to
have
say.
mercy. No, I just want to help to make sure, that if anybody needs help with anything, that I can, I'm there to help. Pretty much, I'm just there to help. A sounding board,
Gotcha.
pretty much.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that help is.
And what were you getting ready to say?
Tell us about, because we talked about your career and what you did for work. You actually did and still do partially some other stuff. Tell us about this wedding coordinator. Tell me a little bit about that. And because it's
Oh
part of
Lord,
your
have mercy.
organization and what you do in the area.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Wow. I've been doing weddings for, how old am I now?
I don't know. No, but I ain't gonna call it out.
I guess I've been doing weddings about 60 years.
You said 60?
Maybe about 50. I'm trying to think. I told you, and over 50 years. Let's say that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know
Over
you were
50
doing
years.
weddings that long.
Yep. And I've done them everywhere, just about, in a lot of places.
Hmm.
Internationally.
You did international. You traveled out of the country.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you go?
Yeah, I did one in Bermuda.
What?
I did one in New York, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I had no idea. See, you're downplaying your skills. Like you telling, oh, I just did these weddings.
I'm retired.
I
I'm
know you
retired. They
retired,
keep
but
pulling
the
me out
people
of
be bringing
retirement.
you retired.
Yeah, I've done wedding. I did my first wedding when I was 18.
Mm.
So it's been 52 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Something like that. I'm 70 now, age 60. Yeah, something like that. But over 50 years. And again, I've done them everywhere. I've done them different denominations, all everywhere, just all types.
Amazing.
The one in Bermuda was fabulous. It was a lot of fun. Well, all of them were fun, really. But I've done all types.
What now when you're coordinating a wedding, planning a wedding, do you find it more fun leading up to the wedding or the actual day?
Really, it's not fun.
So how would you describe it then? Eventful.
It's satisfying. It's satisfying.
Okay, satisfying. I like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's satisfying. I like, again, being helpful. Because I just do. I just want to be helpful to make sure that everything goes like it should.
Mm-hmm.
And when it goes like it should, on time, and everybody in place, it's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And they look forward to that. Some ladies and people look forward to it from childhood. Their wedding day,
Yeah.
and they really don't want anything to mess that up. But yeah, I try to see all the weddings that I can. I went to this wedding in the Bahamas one time. I wasn't don't know the people to this day, but they invited us out of the blue. And well, we went to this church, and while we were at the church, the preacher said, "My son is getting married tomorrow, and we want all of you. We want all of you to come. All of you to come." And I looked around, and it was like, all of us, a wedding in the Bahamas? Oh yeah, I'm going. It was outstanding. It was incredible.
Mm.
It was really it was incredible. That's all I can say.
That's all you can
But it was in
say.
the Bahamas. Yeah, yeah. They go all out. You know,
Really?
the mothers try to outdress the other mother, you know. Oh yeah. I mean, they have big hats and oh, it was just beautiful.
Mm,
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. They spent a lot of money.
I believe it.
Big wedding party. Big wedding party. The wedding party, the largest wedding party I had was 16 bridesmaids. And that was in Atlanta. That was in Georgia. When I
Mhm.
did the one in Georgia. Huge wedding. Like, where all these, I mean, then she had like 5 or 6 children. And see, that's what, you know, that's why I say I like to help people. I always tell people when you have a wedding, don't have no children in your wedding. If you're gonna have it, have 1 or 2 and let them be
Right.
halfway grown. You know, at least 4, 5, 6, something like that. But
Yeah.
don't have them little babies in no wedding. It's terrible. But anyhow, little stuff like that, I like to give people advice on.
Well, I can
And
say
not a
you got
whole
a
lot.
lot of advice.
Yeah,
You got a lot of
yeah. The
great.
more intimate, the better. And then as time goes over the years, you've seen weddings evolve to different things now. So yeah. But I enjoy it. Again, it's the satisfaction of them being satisfied and happy and the day going
Mhm.
well. There's
Yeah.
nothing no worse than going to an unorganized wedding.
Mm.
Nothing, no worse. Weddings, I do birthday parties, I've done anniversaries, I've done it all. Yeah.
Where did you, so did that just come naturally? I'm thinking it does come naturally to you wanting to see things go right, wanting things to be organized, or did you see that anywhere growing up?
No.
Okay. I was just curious. I think it's just a natural ability you have. You
Mm-hmm.
know how to structure things, you know how to get things in order, and you know how to do it with sternness but not overpowering. You've never been, to me, you've never been like barking orders at nobody, but they also know you mean business. If they
Yeah.
come in, if you
I,
come in,
I have a tendency to bark,
really?
but they listen.
And that's
Oh,
what you
you got
need,
to.
effective.
If you want it, if you want everything decent and in order, you know, you got to make sure that they understand where you're coming from.
Mm.
The worst one I had was in New York. I wasn't there in the very beginning. I only got there like the day before.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
was, they were kind of hard to corral.
You had to put them
They
in
were hard,
order though.
hard to corral, but they got straight. Yeah, they
Okay.
had to. Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
yeah, they just got to know who's in charge.
I know there's like, I might be little, but I'm in charge. Because you probably was the littlest one there, huh?
This is what you're gonna do.
Right.
You see that X on that floor? That's where you put your left foot, not your
Yeah.
right foot.
Did you tell them to do all of that?
Oh, of course. Of
I
course.
didn't know. I've never been in a wedding, or well, I've kind of been. Well, yes, I have, like as a host, but not as a main party. So I didn't know. You know the details because this been your 50-year legacy. You've been doing
Yeah. Yeah. You have a wedding with 6, 8, 10 people or whatever. They need to know where to stand.
it. Mm,
You know, that's part of the organization. You
right.
don't have them up on top of each other. you got to visually see it, and then you tell them this is your mark.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
like it. I like it. See, I will say this again. You be underestimating your expertise. Like you know how to put this stuff together like nobody else. Like no, I'm telling the truth, because just what you explained, having to visually see, let's take example that wedding you said in Georgia had the 16 bridesmaids, right? You had to be able to
Yes.
know how we going to coordinate this so it doesn't look like a mess.
Yes. Exactly.
Because it could have.
Exactly. It was a lot of people. Oh, a lot of people. Then you had the mini brides. You
Mini
had the
bride?
bride. Then you had mini brides. Then you had flower girls. Oh, it was something. But it worked.
Yeah. You made it work.
It
You
worked.
helped it work.
We made it work.
You
Yeah.
made it work. Well, I do have one final question.
Oh
What?
God, that
um,
wasn't the last one.
no, no, I got one final question for you. What what do you want to be remembered for when people say, "Oh yeah, that's Barbara. She did da 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 da." What is it? What is it you want people to remember you for? Doing that expression.
I don't
You said, "I don't
know.
know."
Just I just always wanted to help people, and I get satisfaction out of knowing that they're satisfied. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But I just always like to be a help to people wherever I can,
Yeah.
if I can, when I can.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I've witnessed you do that at the church. You've done that with family, with friends, at work, being a help to people. I think
Hmm.
it's grand. Well, do you have any final words you want to say before we close? Nothing?
I said enough.
Do
I
you
don't
look
know what
like
this edit gonna be like.
you looking like one of your great grandchildren now, just shaking your head
Uh, I shake my
like
head.
just shaking my head.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the interviews, and I truly appreciate you all stepping up and taking the lead on us
Yeah,
being together as a family. Because we are. This is it. I just can't believe it that we're it. You know what I mean?
yes,
We're next in line.
you are the elder now. Isn't that something?
I'm not the elder,
You're
but
not the elder,
because
but
the
you are in the
whole
group
lot more
of
before me.
elders.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. I can't
Yeah,
believe it.
it's
But
yeah.
I sure do appreciate y'all stepping up. Y'all keep it going. Don't let it stop.
We
Keep it
won't.
going.
We
Keep the
won't.
family together.
We learn from the best, so we know what to do. We gotta keep.
Mhm.
Gotta keep the tradition. Can't let anything slide through the cracks.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah. Just keep God on your side. Stay in the word and keep believing, because God is in control. We
right.
are not in control by a long shot. And that has really helped me over the years with all that I've gone through and going through, knowing that God is the one that's in
Mm-hmm.
charge, not me. It's not me. It's all God. Whatever
That's
He
right.
say, that's what I got to go with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can't do anything without God. I can tell you.
that's right.
Yeah,
That's right. I believe that.
can tell you that. Well, we're gonna end right there. You stick around, okay?
Oh,